the Comic DF.
What is up, besties? It is your girl, the Karmic DF, back to you again with another video. This time we are going to take a look at Galactic Federation. So if you guys are not into extraterrestrials, that is totally fine. I will see you in my next video. I have an entire playlist on pop culture that you could check out. So as always, this is all for alleged and entertainment purposes only. If you'd like, you could follow me. Links are all down below. Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, links are all down below. If you enjoy these videos, please leave it a like. It really does support my channel. Hi, besties. Hi, regulars. How y'all doing? But without further ado, like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's take a look at who the Galactic Federation is and basically whatever else they can tell us. Okay, so first I received that, how do I explain this? So I keep hearing members of an elite squad, like the SVU show, Law and Order. So I feel like they are specifically chosen. This feels like they're more military than anything else. I just heard you got a dude, so I got to be right on something. But this is giving me like, they're very, very advanced. Like they're showing me like the ship and it's giving like, is there truth to Star Wars? Like, I've never watched the show, so if you've watched it, please let me know down in the comments. But people that are more well-versed in this, it's kind of like, it's a mix of, like, Star Wars, because I'm seeing ships around the Earth, and I'm hearing, like, ley lines, and, like, something to do with magnetic field, and I'm hearing, like, sacred geometry, so it's like, they understand where to be around our Earth, if that makes sense, like, where they need to be. And I'm seeing like Harry Potter and like the cloak, like how he could like be invisible. It's kind of giving me that, which is why like we don't see them often. I'm seeing like old school videos that would go on like YouTube about how we would see like spaceships. Yeah, because I'm hearing the song Starships Are Meant to Fly. And I'm seeing how like they disappear really fast. And it's like, it's because we don't understand. I'm hearing like molecular structure. This is so weird. Oh my God. But, like, this is why they disappear fast. It's like they're not really gone. It's like they know how to manipulate structures. Like, I'm seeing DNA and stuff like that. I don't really know how to explain this other than they know how to work with, like, energy and with, like, molecules. It's really weird. I'm going to move on. Spirit, give me other stuff. I'm hearing, like, Men in Black and how there's also people on the ground, too. Like, we work with people on the ground, but we're up here as well. Like, throughout time, they're giving me the vibe of, like, ETs weren't really supported. Like, they've made multiple attempts to, you know, come together with us, but power, greed, I'm seeing, like, I've seen in multiple alien readings, stuff that they've given to us getting shelved because it wouldn't help big tech, all that stuff. I'm seeing main figure-wise, like a human hybrid, a tall guy, blonde hair, maybe to the ears or to the, like, the chin, strong upper body, probably around, like, taller than 6 feet. I mean, I'm short as shit, so this isn't hard, but he looks really tall, in, like, a skin suit, kind of, like a blue flesh skin suit, skin suit. There's also, like, multiple, like, it kind of reminds me of, like, the scene of Men in Black where they have all these different types of aliens. I'm seeing, like, all different denominations. Like, I'm seeing somebody with, like, a bird head. I believe that's called Arturian. But I'm seeing, like, all different avenues, like, all different types. It's, like, this is why I tell you guys, like, I need specifics because I'm seeing so many different types of beings. Like, I'm seeing people that kind of look like they're, like, grays, except not. They're, like, they're taller and more, like, luminescent is what they're saying. But anyway, I won't focus too much on that. And the ships are like extremely clean. Like there's no dirtiness. And like what they're telling me is like, not only are they like super clean, but like it's giving me this reminder of like your insides will impact your outside and vice versa. So like staying clean is important for them because like it affects your mental health as well. Like, you know how they say like when you don't feel your best self, like clean your room, clean everything around you, and you'll start to feel better because your outsides kind of like show your insides. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting here. I also see like they really understand molecules. Like I'm really getting a big one on that. It's like I feel like they make food in a lab, but they're like showing me that it's like it's natural even though it's in a lab. I hope that makes sense. I know this is weird, but they're showing me how like they make fruits and vegetables, but they're legit because like they're showing me like genetically modified food, and they're like striking it out. So it's like they do know how to make natural foods from. I don't know how the hell this comes to be. It's like it's not like astronaut, like the freeze dried crap. It's like real food. It's like they know. It's like they have a science class like on their ship. It's like they know how to make food, but it's real food. It's not like processed shit. It's good for their body. Like they're showing me like the 7 chakras and how like yellow goes with your solar and like orange food. So I'm seeing like clementines goes with your sacral, stuff like that. Apples for the root chakra. But they're just very knowledgeable on what's like toxic about the body. I feel like they're just showing me this as a way of like saying, we should all be aware of this, because like even though they're making food, it's like I don't know, somehow it's healthy. This is what they're showing me so far. So let's get into the cards. Who are they? What do they want us to know? As always, this is alleged and for entertainment purposes only, no facts here. Yeah, it's not shocking. Okay. All right, so they are not wasting any time on what they want to tell us. I figured they'd tell us who they are, but I guess that was enough. They want us to be aware that even though right now it feels like we're stuck, it feels like things are getting bad, I'm hearing the song, The Storm is Passing Over. So even though it looks bad, yeah, I'm hearing the song, Gotta Keep Your Head Up. It's giving me the vibe of like, even though right now it looks really bad and it looks like where's the world going to go from here? It's like I'm hearing all the world's a stage. So like, they're okay. This is gonna be so. If you're not into conspiracy, just I don't know why you're still watching this. They're giving me the vibe of like it's already over, but it's playing out. Like they're showing me like a grand symphony orchestra. It's like they're showing me how like I might do readings on these celebrities now that they're kind of giving me the nod about it. But they're showing me how like celebrities recently have been looking like completely different people. Like for instance, Simon Cowell, like. He said it was Botox, whatever. But, like, you notice how, like, they're all starting to look different? It's kind of giving me the vibe of, like, the actors are acting, allegedly. It's giving me the vibe of, like, we don't really understand the big picture here. It's kind of the vibe of, like, if you know, you know. Hold on, because it's meant to wake the people up that aren't awake yet. So, you know, because they're showing me how, like, people grow through pain, right? So, like, a lot of times we wake up, we grow because something traumatic. Like, you know how there's a death in the family and it brings the family together, right? It's giving me kind of that. It's like, we know that it looks really bad right now, like, because I keep hearing, like, apocalyptic and stuff like that. And it's like, it's not that bad. It's like, I'm seeing, like, a building that's on, like, toothpicks. It's like this foundation didn't work. It had to break down. And so while it's breaking down, stay as mindful as you can, stay peaceful, turn off the news. For the love of God, if you haven't been following me for that long, that is one thing that I will just, turn off the news. It does not benefit you. It does not benefit anybody. But that being said, this is just giving me the vibe of like, we're at a crossroads in time right now. This is a really beautiful time to be alive is what I'm hearing, but it's got to look crazy because chaos is what makes us change and adapt and grow. And we haven't been doing that. We've been stuck for a while. We've been feeling that like, you know, there's no good, for instance, I'm hearing like the poor getting poorer and the rich getting richer. It's like, we know that there was an off balance in this world and that's what we are working to solve. But in order for that to solve, we have to break everything down. We also have to expose it. So right now you may be feeling like you're at a standstill in life. And if you're seeing this 3 years from now, this may just be a message for you, or it may just be like, you're ready to hear what really went down. I don't know. But it's just giving me the vibe of like, this is a time to expose, like, for instance, I'm seeing, like, how people really worship celebrity couples, and then every time I read the couples, it's, like, really not healthy, and it's, like, wounds versus wounds. You know what I mean? Like, it's giving me the vibe of, like, we have to show you everything that's going on. Now is the time where everybody is supposed to see everything for what it really is. And so it's going to look chaotic, but it has to look that way. That doesn't mean that we're not doing work on the other side, the stuff that you don't see behind closed doors. We're working on it. It's got to look ugly. I keep hearing like we've already got these fuckers. Like, I don't know what that means. I mean, I am seeing like Diddy, and I'm seeing like people with their faces like grayed out. So that's giving me like the people behind closed doors that like we didn't really know who they are or how they lead. But like the main message that I'm getting so far is just like, I know it looks like a shit show. I know it looks like everything is just never going to be healthy and back in balance, but wait for it because we're creating a new normal. Everything's got to fall apart in order for us to create something new that's actually solid, that'll actually stand the test of time. Like I've been saying in numerous videos, we live in a very sick society where ego controlled everything, masculine energy controlled everything, and now it's time for us to relearn harmony within ourselves and within one another. So I think this is just more of a message of like, yeah, because I'm hearing the song Keep Holding On. So yeah, now I'm being drawn to my, I'll grab it, obsidian. It's like grounding, but it's also protecting your energy. I'm getting, yeah, because I'm hearing the song Slow Ride, Take It Easy. So the news is going to keep being bad, and people are going to keep getting exposed, and prices are going to keep going up, and things are going to keep looking bad, but hold on, because it has to fall apart in order for something better to come together. But let's move on. Yeah, we know you're upset, but anybody that reads tarot, when we see this grief card, we're crying over 3 cups that have fallen, but 2 are still behind us. That's kind of the vibe of this. It's like right now is the time where you're supposed to be coming home to yourself. You're supposed to be dealing with your own emotions, your own pains, trying to figure out who you really are, because this is a time where, like, I'm being drawn to, like, I'm seeing clocks that are just stopping, and it's like, in the spiritual community, we've all been talking about how time feels like it's not real anymore. It feels like it's standing still. That's kind of the vibe. It's like time is kind of on pause right now. Like time's not real, but like the idea of time is kind of on pause right now because we're all supposed to be unlearning the things that we realize now are not healthy. Like I'm being drawn to how many people now are making like YouTubes about childhood and how to heal from that and what isn't normal and how we're speaking out about it. And it's like, this is the time where it looks like the world's falling apart, but it's supposed to make you come home to yourself. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, literally. Like your family, your childhood, your inner child. It's meant to bring us all closer. All of us as a human race, as well as being close within ourselves. Because if we're not trying to fit in, if we're just figuring out who we are, then we're going to find our like-minded friends, our soul tribe, our family, that stuff. So even though this looks like a shit show is what I keep hearing in my head, it's meant to do better for us. And like I said, you know how people pass away and it makes us wake up to like, oh crap, like we've been sleeping on our life. That's kind of like the bigger picture here on a grand scale. It's like for decades, we've been taught wrong. And they're trying to right wrongs, basically. Like, there's only so much that they can do, is what I'm hearing, in terms of, like, messing with free will. So they can't do that. But because there was so much, I'm hearing, like, tomfoolery. I never say that. Because there's been so much messed up stuff going on behind closed doors. And with the age of Aquarius, everything's coming out to be exposed. Right now is a time for us to come back home to ourselves, realize that our mindset has always been to focus on what we don't have instead of what we do. Now's the time where we need to come home to ourselves, unlearn limiting beliefs, unlearn childhood wounds that didn't benefit on us. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering so bad, but it's coming through faster than I can talk. But this is about, like, I just keep hearing, like, it's the climb. Like, it's about us coming home to ourselves and realizing where we've slept on ourselves, given power to other people, worshiping others when we should have been putting that energy into us, like, being inspired by celebrities, for instance. Like, that's meant to show you your potential. It's not meant to make you worship things outside of yourself. Like, that's what I'm hearing. It's like, it's a lot about us coming home to ourselves. And it's like, power of the people is what I'm hearing. Yeah, it's like we've been death gripping this idea of money and masculinity and dominance over emotions and phoenixing and reevaluating and moving forward. It's like we've developed learned helplessness as humanity, if that makes sense. That's what I'm hearing. And so it's like right now, part of the reason that we feel like we're at a standstill is because there's still so many people. Like, I'm hearing like you're only as strong as your weakest link. So I feel like there's still a lot of people that are really stuck to old ways. That's not really shocking. It's kind of why I don't have conversations with people anymore. So even though we feel like we're lost and it feels like there's going to be no help and it feels like there's going to be no money and everything like that, we're moving forward. We're changing things behind closed doors that you guys aren't aware of. I'm seeing the money system. So I think something's going on with the money system allegedly behind closed doors. I don't know if that means we're going to move to crypto, or it's kind of giving me the vibe of like money systems are changing, because they're showing me how like the other day, because it's true, y'all, but the other day I was like, how the fuck have we been listening to people that are like trillions of dollars in debt? Like, have you ever met a family member that's like thousands of hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, and you're like, bro, don't talk to me. Like, you don't even know how to manage your own money. Like, that's kind of the vibe here. It's like everything's falling apart so that new things can come together. And I'm seeing like a different money system, like maybe gold, backed by gold is what I'm hearing. So maybe gold, I don't know, but there's something about the financial system that's also going down so that a new one can come in order, come make things right. I don't know. Is this like a world system? I'm hearing like worldwide from Step Brothers. Oh my God, that's so funny. Something to do with the money system, y'all. Does anybody know what's going on with crypto or anything like that? Because there's something involving the money system that's going to change. But that might, because I'm hearing we're already there. So it's happening in the background. It's just we're not being let in on it, because they're showing me how my bank randomly switched to another bank name, and I was like, what the hell? And then it reminded me of this. Like, I've heard this before. So I think there's something about a money system that's moving and making for a new system in the background. I take what resonates. I don't know, but that's what they're telling me. Also, the fact that people are too driven by finances and not by their happiness, their joy. Like, they're drawing me to like old people on their deathbed, and they're not like, oh, I wish I got that. I don't know shit about cars. Give me a Porsche. Thank you, Spirit. Oh, I wish I got that Porsche. You know, they never do that. They're like, I wish I spent more time with my family. I wish I appreciated, you know, the world and everything it has to offer. So it's also like a way for us to move out of this ego and needing things outside of us perspective, and to go within and realize that we are all connected. We are all one. We can all create our reality. Our thoughts and our mindset creates our reality. So moving forward, I think that's why we're seeing a lot of, and if you're a teacher, I mean no disrespect, but I think this is why we're seeing a lot of scrutiny about, you know, curriculum, teaching, and stuff like that. Because I've always wondered myself, like, most of the shit I learned did not help me be an adult at all. So I'm seeing like a different way forward where, like, I feel like education's going to change. I don't know how they're going to incorporate this, because I'm hearing like it's going to take a lot of years. So I'm seeing like at least a decade before schools change. But we're going to see a lot of change, because I just keep seeing like a building that's like a skyscraper and it's all falling down because the bottom wasn't solid. And it's 11:22 and I said that. So it's just giving me this vibe of like, hold on, keep finding who you are, keep figuring out what you want, keep figuring out how to make it your reality. Stop focusing on what's going on the outside world, because most of it has already happened, or most of it is just kind of like a play for people that are still not fully awake to what's going on. Because they're showing me like, for instance, like my mother is very, very 3D. She will never be a 5D person. That's totally fine. That's her path. But she recently went up to me and she was like, why does it look like LeBron looks different? And I was like, whoa, because like I never heard that from a regular person. So I feel like the point is in all of this is like, we got to wait until the rest of the world wakes up. And there's going to be people that will never wake up, but there's got to be like enough, because I'm seeing like a snowball going down a mountain. It's like, if you know, is kind of the vibe. If you know what's going on, if you know what's wrong in the world, if you know all that, you don't have to be involved in this. There's other people. What I'm seeing is like, again, is like I'm seeing, how do I explain this, Spirit? This is probably going to be more channeling than it is going to be cards. I'm seeing the earth, and I'm seeing like white dots around it, and I'm seeing people, and it's like we're waking up people that are meant to, you know what I'm seeing is like, this is so hard to explain. I think it's a running game. Forgive me if you run for a living. But it's like they meet people at the halfway point and they grab that metal stick and then they run with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're supposed to come this far, but then someone's supposed to meet you here, pass the baton is what I'm hearing. Is it baton? And then that person takes off. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. It's like a ripple effect. It's like one layer people learn, right? And then they take their information, they share it. And then a next layer people wake up and then they take their information and they do because like the vibe that I'm getting is like, for instance, I've always been like, okay, I know that I need to share this information, but how do I help? For instance, how do I change it in terms of like government? And it's like, you're not meant to help the government. You're supposed to wake up. Because I'm hearing the Tupac saying where it's like, I may not change the world, but I may wake up the mind of the person that does. That's the vibe of this. It's like, hold on. If you already know what's going on, just keep focusing on you. Keep healing yourself. Keep unlearning these beliefs that hold you back. We're still waking up the rest of the people. I know you're annoyed. I know it feels like time's standing still. I know it feels like the world's literally on fire. I'm seeing the meme with the dog in the burning building that says I'm fine. It's like, we still have to wake up the more rational people. And I'm seeing how rational people would be more idealistic for something like government and military and police and stuff like that. And so it's like, wait a little bit. There's still more people that need to be waking up, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. This is going to be all over the place. Yeah, slow, steady growth is what we're aiming for. Yeah, it's like eventually we're going to get to this place where underdogs are really not, because what I'm seeing is like the discrepancy between rich and poor, and how the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poor. And what I'm seeing is like, with slow, consistent growth, we're going to see that fall away. We're going to see the people that could never make wealth create wealth on their own, and they're going to inspire other people. Again, this feels like ripple effect, because there's only so much they can do. Like they can't mess with free will. They can't come down here and be like, hello, do you know your potential? Hello, we're trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. They can't do any of that. Yeah, this is growth into ourselves. Growth into going from the underdog to owning and controlling our own narrative, figuring out what lights our passion, figuring out what sets us free so that we can walk away from what doesn't serve us and make our own wealth, our own path, our own, because what I'm being drawn to is like what our passions are, and then how we've been told, especially if we're on the more creative side, that it's not realistic or there's not enough room for us. Like if you want to be a singer, if you want to be a dancer, if you want to own your own business, if you want to be a YouTuber, if you want to be a tarot reader, and how like it feels like unless you're going to be working for a business, there's no room. No, that's a limiting belief. It's not real. And they're going to help us to slowly, because what I'm seeing is like big stores falling apart. So like Walmart, I guess Target, I don't know. It's like, it's buildings that don't, how do I word this, Spirit? Like, for instance, minimum wage is not livable, right? And working for a job that doesn't do anything for you is just not doable. And so what I'm seeing is like the falling down of like businesses that are open to walk into. I hope this makes sense. And everything becoming more virtual, so that there's room for us to create our own wealth. I'm seeing a lot of people turning to Etsy. I'm seeing a lot of people turning to YouTube, turning to yoga instructors, true crime podcasts, whatever it is that tickles your fancy. It's like, this is the time for people to take back control of their lives. That's what's really going on behind closed doors. It's not what they want you to see, which is why you're getting so distracted, which is why, like, I'm seeing the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case and how that was streamed forever. And in my head, I was like, what are they really hiding us from? It's like to keep you focused on other shit so you don't focus on yourself, because then you still feel like you're a victim, and then you have to defend yourself at all costs, and then there's no way for you to get through. But in reality, that's just a mindset that we need to get rid of together. And that's why it's like slow and steady wins the race. If you're the rabbit, you're not going to win. If you're the tortoise and you're taking in the scenery and you're reflecting and you're just taking it one step at a time, you're going to be okay. Yeah, it's learning how to fill your cup, learning how to balance your feminine and masculine energy, learning when it's time to care for yourself versus when it's time to work. This is very much about us coming into balance with ourselves and coming into balance with money as well. Yeah, it's like once you learn how to take your mindset off of things that don't serve you, that's when your abundance is going to happen, because they're showing me universal law and how like what you give out is what you give in. But if you don't believe that it'll come back to you, then it's not going to happen. And so we need to learn how to go from believing that everything is magical and not real and never going to happen, and learning that there is a balance in life and that all energy likes like energy. Like, for instance, they're drawing me to how I always say, like, if you're like, oh my God, I always attract people that cheat, then you're going to always attract people that cheat because you're putting it out there. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting with this. It's like, if you believe you can never make money, then you're right. Yeah, they're giving me the saying, if you believe that you can't or believe that you can, you're right, because your thoughts create your reality. So this right now is a really big turning point for humanity as a whole, which is what they're trying to get across. It's just very much like, we're trying to help you realize your power, but in doing that, we have to also show you what your wounds are, because your wounds are what prohibit you from getting into your power. I hope this is making sense. I'm just channeling what they're saying, and if this is all over the place, bear with me here. Yeah, it's like learning that you're not a victim, learning how to get back into alignment with yourself so that you can trust your intuition over your logical mind. Because remember, your mind, your thoughts, all of that is learned. From the moment you were born up until now, your reality is what you've been around, what people have told you, what you have learned through books or through experience. It's your mind and your brain is like a computer. And so we need to learn how to tap back into our intuition, because we are not victims of our life. And if we learn how the system benefits from us believing that, and we tap back into our intuition instead of ignoring it, then we can come back into harmony with ourselves and with more soul felt connections, is what I'm hearing. So I'm hearing that some of you are worried about, like, I'm never going to find a spouse that's really solid, that loves me the way that I want to be loved. But it's like you're unlearning generations of behavior. You're unlearning that, like, for instance, if you're a man, I apologize, but I have to say this. For instance, decades ago, right? Women needed men. They couldn't get a bank account. They couldn't have a job. They needed men. Now we're in a place right now where it's kind of even-ish. I mean, women, we're not 100% equal, but we're getting there, right? But it's giving me the vibe of, like, now that we're learning that we control our reality, our thoughts control our reality, we have to model that so that the world can bring it back to us. So, for instance, if you're worried about, like, the love of your life coming in, well, how are you embodying being the love of your life until that person comes in? Are you being cruel to yourself? Because then you'll attract people that'll give you that same energy. So right now, it's really about, like, what I'm seeing is like a scene of, like, New York City. And I feel like the reason they're showing me this is because there's so many people. Yeah, I'm hearing, like, saturated with people. It's, okay, the movie The Happening, if you've seen that, where everybody is all of a sudden they're stopped, they're paused, and it's, like, really creepy, they're not moving. But from spiritual perspective, that's where we're at right now. We can't move forward until we do the deep reflections, until we look into ourselves, look into our mind, why we believe the things that we do. It's like we're doing a U-Haul of everything we've ever learned so that we could get back into alignment with our greatest timeline, with who we're meant to be, with who we're meant to be with, because we are finally at a generation now where we're starting to ask bigger questions. So really, what they're trying to get through to me is taking your power back, learning who you really are, learning what you want and what you don't want, and honoring that. Not letting your mind get in the way of your intuition. Like, for instance, if your mind is like, well, I've learned that men are just cheaters, right? But your intuition's like, this guy seems like a good dude. Like, it's learning that your logic isn't always there for you. Sometimes it's there to work against you. You know what I mean? So I think right now what they really want us to understand is that it's like a blessing in disguise. What I'm seeing is like a diamond, and how it's made from, like, a lot of tension and pressure. It's giving me that. It's like, we're all the diamonds, but we have to do the work too in order for us to turn into the diamond. Now I'm seeing, like, a butterfly. So it's like realizing that we're phoenixing, we're learning so that we can shoot forward. It's like the arrow, right? You got to pull it back to shoot it forward. Right now we're all being pulled back because think about it, right? Like, it feels like everybody's dying left, right, and center. Everything is not solid. As being humans, we're creatures of habit. And right now, we can't even death grip habit anymore, right? Because we don't know what tomorrow brings. But that's the point. It's like we were never meant to death grip change. We were meant to ride with it. We were meant to flow with it. We were meant to understand why things happen and not take it so personally. And so as the world continues, because I'm seeing, like, it's going to hurt bad before it gets better. That's what I'm hearing. So prices are probably still going to continue to rise. I'm seeing, like, volcanoes and, like, hurricanes and snowstorms, power outages, stuff like that. I don't feel like that stuff's going to stop anytime soon. It's to make us warriors. And, like, listen, I don't love going through shit in order to be strong. I've been through plenty myself. But that's probably why I'm handling this better than most, because when you've been through enough shit, you're just like, the world's going to take me where it wants to. And that's it. You know what I mean? And so they're trying to get us to that point where we're like, you know what? I'm in control of my life. It is what it is. I trust that there's better than this. I trust that this is helping me become who I need to be. That's kind of the vibe. It's like we need to learn how to stand up for ourselves, learn how to take control of ourselves, learn how to be our own partner, spouse, best friend, more importantly, parent. Because I feel like what they're showing me is, like, generations for generations. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I've looked into my family dynamics going back decades, and it's like this has been generationally happening. Like, the trauma just goes down and it goes down and it goes down, and it's like we're trying to make you learn how to release that and come home to yourself so that you can realize that you've always been in control of your destiny, of your future, of your fate. So Yeah, it's not about what you put in. It's about moving forward. Yeah, you create your own abundance. But for the longest time, we didn't really fully understand how to do that. We were taught more so like if you put 5 to 10 years into a company and then you can have a 401 and then you could. So we're all like taught that, you know, where it's like settle for a job that you hate, that's never been part of your love, never been part of your soul, because it was never meant to be part of your soul contract. It was part of learning, but eventually, like for instance, they're showing me how right before I rage quit my last normal people job, I was a salesperson for phones. And, you know, you could just be like, oh, she worked for phones before this. But I worked for phones. They were sales so that I can learn how to kind of promote myself, I guess. So everything has a point, has a purpose, has a place in life. But eventually we're going to get that call, right? Where it's like, I want something more. I want something that fulfills me because nothing in the past did because I was following the rules. So it's us learning that there's a balance in life. Like, you can follow the rules in terms of like taxes, paying your bills, making sure that your house and your lights are on. But at the same time, like what fills your heart? What leaps of faith are you not taking because you don't believe that it's realistic? Are you the type of person that's been in a job for 10 plus years that you hate, but you stick around because it pays the bills, but it doesn't make you happy? That's not where your abundance lies. Humanity has taught you that you're better as a worker bee, but in reality, you're meant for so much more. Yeah, I'm hearing the song, we were meant to live for so much more. Have we lost ourselves? Somewhere we live inside. So this is really just about us reclaiming. Yeah, because forever there has been no justice for us, especially when it comes to finances. I definitely think they're working on that. Because I almost seeing, you know what I'm seeing is like someone on the top of a building, like dropping money to all the people around. It's like, we don't understand money the way that we believe. Like, they're drawing me back to me and how like I never thought that this would be possible, but I believed it and so I manifested it. It's kind of that same vibe. It's like we've been taught we have to settle for a shitty job, do shitty things that we don't want to do, settle for less than we deserve. And so we've been having this inner conflict, but this has been going on for generations. And now that we're in the age of like technology and advancements, it's time for you to step out of your comfort zone and create the abundance that you deserve. And that's your birthright. We've been taught otherwise. We have to unlearn this behavior. So while things are falling apart and we're watching the news and we're like, oh my God, people are dying left, front, and center. Listen, I'm not saying that's not real. I'm simply saying it's kind of all these gut punches is what I'm seeing. These gut punches are meant for you to go, you know what? Tomorrow's never promised. So fuck it. Like, I'm going to choose myself and I'm going to take risks because again, I don't even know if tomorrow the world will still be here. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, yeah, I'm seeing what I get from my clients. It's like a pressure cooking vibe, which has given me always the sign or symbolism of like, we've outgrown this, but we're clinging on to it because it's what makes us comfortable, but it's not where we're going to get our happiness from. So this is all about like the Galactic Federation is supposedly coming. I believe that's true based on this reading alone because, oh my God, I'm channeling faster than I could pull cards. But this is giving me the vibe of like, we've been around watching you forever. We've always been here, but people were getting incredibly egotistical. Money and wealth have not been okay. And people were getting so messed up that they couldn't figure out what made them happy. And so they were abusing their power. And we've seen all that coming out in the news. I've covered a bunch of those, Diddy being one of them. But it's like, we are evening the scales. We are making justice upright. You know what I mean? But we can't just come down and be like, hey, by the way, we're aliens. Nice to meet you. We're going to make everything fall apart so that you guys have a fair chance of leveling up. Yeah, they can't do that, right? So they have to make things fall apart. Because what I'm seeing is like, for instance, like the Oprah Maui thing. Like immediately I was like, finally, now people will see that she's trash because I felt that for the longest. The best way to know, by the way, because they're showing me to share this with you guys, people tell on themselves, okay? So like Oprah, for instance, that one was just obvious to me. The bitch is a billionaire and she donated what? Scraps? Like, would you guys applaud me if I gave pennies to Maui? No, you wouldn't. You know what I mean? So it's giving me the vibe of like, let people tell on themselves because they're going to continue to do that. And I've learned this in my own personal life. Just be quiet, be the observer. I mean, you don't have to be quiet, but like observe people. Because like, for instance, if you embody this energy, you will be set. From the moment that I learned how to do this, I got so much better at reading people. And they're showing me to tell you guys what happened to me the other day. So there's this guy that lives on my block that I've had a really bad feeling about forever. I have a feeling that his wife. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it at that. But anyway, He came up to me the other day out of nowhere. And I have this energy that's like, come correct or don't come at all, because I've been through too much shit already. And the guy went up to me and he legit just said out of nowhere, he's like, I'm a good guy, you know, I'm a good guy. People that are good, they don't feel the need to tell you that they're good people. Like, I don't ever feel the need to tell people that I'm a great person and I mean no harm, because it speaks for itself. That's in my energy. So moving forward with these celebrities, let them tell on themselves. Let everybody in your life tell on themselves. People that are good people do not feel the need to tell you that they're good people. People that feel guilty about something, those are the people that need to tell you that they're good. They deserve more. They're this, they're that. It's because they're being triggered by you. So moving forward, Spirit, or I guess Galactic Federation, I feel like it's my spirit team more telling me now what's going on. But it's giving me this vibe of like, people are going to start to tell on themselves if they're not already. Start to listen to them, because you're going to start to feel less crazy, and then you're going to feel like you can step into yourself better. This feels like it's more of like a collective reading, because it's like, how do I word this? There's not really a way. They're so advanced that it's hard for me to tell you exactly what's going on. Like there's like peace treaties going on from what I'm seeing. There's paperwork being signed. There's things going on behind scenes. There's technology that we don't understand. I'm seeing like Tesla stuff, and I'm seeing Elon Musk. So if we start seeing new technology coming out through Elon Musk, I do believe that that's from ETs. He's connected to them somehow, allegedly, and for entertainment purposes only. No facts here, no facts at all. Yeah, if you want something like that, I do believe Elon Musk is going to like drop shit. Like, I'm being drawn to how he's doing like space stuff too. So we're going to find out that there's new advanced technologies, and it could be Elon. Yeah, because I'm hearing Elon et al., which is like, and everyone, I believe. I don't know who the fuck said that. But anyway, we're going to see new technology coming out, new advancements, but it's really stuff that they've been trying to hand down to us for ages. But like, greed was covering everything, because I'm being drawn to the pyramid here, and I'm being drawn to all the theories that there was electricity made from the pyramids, and I believe that that's fact. I'm pretty sure I covered something similar to that. But this is how things are going to start to even out. It's like new things are going to come out, especially with like the age of Aquarius. So some of it might be brand new, but a lot of it is going to be passed down of stuff that they have put on the shelf, so to speak. I've said this in other readings. So yeah, so while we don't know a way to move forward, start building things that you believe in. And don't take no shit. I love that. Don't take no shit. As we move forward, we're going to hear a lot more like buzzwords, things that'll trigger us. Like I'm seeing like, how do I word this? Crap. The QAnon people would get this. False flag. Thank you, Spirit. It's giving me the vibe of like, we're going to hear more like, this is happening, be scared, and this is happening, and what, because I'm seeing like, I'm seeing that clip where it's like, what, hide your children, hide your wife, but it's like, Spirit's kind of mocking our government, because it's like, it's bullshit. All of it's bullshit. Keep moving forward. You're doing fine. Keep healing. Keep figuring out what motivates you. Keep moving forward. Don't listen to them. They're just trying to pull out whatever like final strings they can use to make you feel like, again, you're a victim. You have no control over your life. Yeah, this is all about stepping back into your power. Yeah, the star. Knowing who you are, and new opportunities will come to you. This belief that working hard and not taking care of yourself, because I'm hearing the song Work Hard, Play Hard, that's going to die with time. It's like we're going to start to learn how to pour into ourselves, realize that we are the creators of our own destiny. We're going to start pulling back our energy, bringing it back into ourselves, and we're going to realize that all the energy that we put into other people or other things, like for instance, I'm being drawn to the healer's journey and how like we try to heal our friends and our spouses and all those people, and then we suddenly learn that people were just leeching off of our energy, and so we pull it into ourselves and then we use it to channel. Like for instance, maybe you're someone that gives a lot of your energy to friends, and maybe you have like 50 friends, right? But like when something goes down with you, either you remove your energy because you don't expect them to pour into you, or you remove your energy because you know they won't pour into you. And so we're getting to this place now where we are going inward, and we're being forced to, so that we can realize where we're sleeping on ourselves, so that we can channel it into something better. So for instance, like the healer's journey, if you're someone who's got a lot of fair weather friends that really don't pour into you, you're going to suddenly realize that you deserve that energy. You're going to pour it into yourself. You're going to be like, okay, I've been giving everybody so much love. No one gives me love. But then I realized that that love that I've been giving out was always meant for me. So this is like the hero's journey. It's like the hero's arc. So we are definitely getting into a place where we're taking our energy back. We're taking our power back. It's just that it's taking long because there's billions of people on this earth, right? And we're only as strong as our weakest link. So continue to do that work. You're going to create your own abundance, but there's other people that are going to try to death grip you because they're not comfortable with that. They're not comfortable with them taking their own power into their own hands. Like it was really hard for me to pull back all my energy and pour it into myself. It felt very selfish. But I've been taught that my worth was correlated with how much I could give. And so if you're one of those people, because I feel like a lot of you are, you're going to start to realize that your energy belongs with you and only you. And the only people that deserve it are people that also ask, what can I do for you? Because it's not that relationship should be like a give and take contract type of thing, but it should be like energy, right? So if you're someone who gives a lot, then the people in your life should be people that give back to you. So we are shifting our fundamental views on relationships, our fundamental views on desires, our fundamental views on how money should be acquired and how we should work for it and how hard. So this is a lot about, again, I'm being drawn to that scene where like nobody's moving. It's like time is at a pause, not in the way that we understand it, but in an energy sense, because we are starting to learn our own value, our own worth, that we came here for a mission, that we deserve more than we believe, that you're going to be the hero in your own story. That's what this is really about. Yeah, we're transitioning. We're in a very transitional period in our life, yep, where we can make our dreams come true as long as we turn that energy inward and put a focus onto us, what we need, our home life, our peace in our home life, our joy. What do we want our relationships looking like moving forward? What do we want our love life, our family, our home? Do we believe that we could have a phone? Oh my God, I don't know where that came from. Do we believe that we can have a home, or do we believe that we can never make it happen because we're poor or we're in the middle class? And you know what I mean? It's a lot of self-reflective. This was always meant to happen. Like if anything, like Spirit or Galactic Federation, whoever the hell's talking to me, I'm channeling, so it's hard to figure it out. This was always meant to happen. So, you know, if you're still somehow watching the damn news, like don't stress about it too much. I know that's hard, and I know that it seems like, you know, it's like when you're sad and someone's like, don't be sad, and you're like, oh yeah, suddenly fixed. No, it's the vibe of like, this was meant to fall apart so that better things could come together. It's working for you. It looks like a shit show, but it's working for you. And the sooner you can accept that and go inward, turn off the news, stop listening to, you know, I'm seeing like wars in other countries. It's like, it's none of our business, right? Like, again, I'm being drawn to how like America's like few trillion dollars, and I don't even know how much. I don't care about them anymore. But it's given the vibe of like, why? Yeah, because now I'm hearing Tupac. We got money for wars, but can't feed the poor. Literally, like all of that. So it's us turning our senses back on. That is the major point of what's happening to us right now. The past 3 years, even more than that. Spirit showed me like 2016. I don't know if all of you guys had something significant happen around 2016 to 2019 is what I'm seeing. 2016, 2019. But we're coming home to ourselves. So that's why this has got to be a mess, right? Like, for instance, you're not going to leave the cheating boyfriend until you find out he's cheating, right? Or the cheating girlfriend. Well, you have to see that the system's failing you in order for you to reject the system. Do you know what I mean? That's the point of this entire reading. It's like we had to show you that your system was a hot mess. They're showing me like Britney Spears and the conservatorship and how I channeled back in TikTok, if that's where you found me, that Britney Spears was like a catalyst because she was going to show, whether intentional or unintentional, how we've all kind of been controlled without realizing it. Controlled by our government, controlled by our media, controlled by our family, controlled by our friends, controlled by limiting beliefs, controlled by generational karma, generational trauma, controlled by our parents putting their shit onto us. We are now unlearning it. Like I'm seeing a yarn ball and it's all falling apart. So while the rest of the world feels like, oh my God, find Jesus, it's the rapture, they're coming down to let you know that you're supposed to be finding yourself, because this is how you're going to find your freedom. This is going to be how you find your happiness. This is how you're going to transition into what really makes you happy. This has to fall apart because you weren't questioning it to begin with. Like, hell, even I was guilty of this. I didn't question the government back in, I don't know, 2015 maybe. I didn't start questioning them till like 2016 to 2018. So good call on the years. But that's the vibe of all this. It's like, it has to look bad so that you never let it happen again. That's really the main message here. It's like, if you can now see all the sharks in the water, then the next time you go into the water, you're going to be mindful of the sharks so that the sharks don't come for you again. You know what I mean? Except the sharks are gov, big farm, our parents unintentionally trapping us in the trauma that they've been in and never healed. It's us reevaluating the meaning of life, how it works, and moving forward, what actually benefits us versus what is there to distract us so that we don't step into our alignment, so that we don't step into our power. But this is running long. So what is a back deck energy? Yeah, it's literally us realizing that we are in control of our own happiness, our own lives. We pour into our own cups. We can start our own projects, start our own new potential, whatever field that may be. It's us learning that we are not, because I'm seeing like an octopus in water. It's like, the water doesn't control us so long as we flow with it. And we are learning how to flow with everything. Like, I'm seeing a boxer and how they practice like with that stick, and they like weave like up and down from the stick. It's us learning. You know, it's like I'm seeing the show Survivor, of like, it's us learning how to live, like really live, not with everything we've been conditioned to learn, but with our truest intuition, our heart, our soul, not our mind, our soul. Because intuition is what we should be driven by, not our brain, not our thoughts, because that's how we lose ourselves over and over again. Yeah, it's like we've been stuck for a long time where we weren't happy because the structure's at play. People told us who we could and couldn't be, and we've always questioned it, right? Maybe you're like me, where it's like, who the fuck are you? Because it's drawing me to the fact that it's a knight, right? But we're queen. We're the queen at the back of the deck. This is like our power structure. It's like, you can't do this, you can't do that. You know, be seen, not heard. Follow the rules. You can't tattoo your hands because you won't get a job. You have to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance because you need to have just respect for America, no questions asked. It's us learning that we need to step back without emotions, really look at the world around us, what matters to us, 111 on my clock when I said that, what matters to us, what doesn't line up, what makes us happy. We have to understand that our happiness matters, and if something's not making us happy, then maybe something else is up and something's going down that we don't fully understand and that we need to remove ourselves from, aka government, aka big farm, aka, you know, we're watching celebrities that are so in love and they're so happy because they have all the rich and the fame, but every time I read them, they're miserable, right? It's us relearning why we are where we are today, putting the blame where it belongs, and pulling our energy back into ourselves so that we can start the life that we deserve. That's what this is about. Damn. All right. I'm going to leave it at that. If you guys want a part 2, let me know, but you're going to have to let me know what you want me to cover, because that just felt like they really wanted us to understand why everything was going down the way that it is. Yeah, I just popped the deck. It's the 8 of Cups in reverse, which is us stunting our own growth. So we need to come back home to ourselves. That's why all this shit's going down. This was the time where we were meant to find out what was going on. And so moving forward, now it's about putting that energy into us so that we can create the reality that we deserve. So again, if you're someone that wants to be an entrepreneur, or you're someone that wants to be in the arts, or you're someone that just, there's some sort of dream that you have that's in your heart, not your head, that you really want to do, but for some reason you don't believe that it's possible, now is your time to like embody Virgo energy and figure out, how do I make this real? How do I make this my reality? How do I create this for myself and not letting anyone or anything, any limiting beliefs, any of that get in the way? Because this is why the lockdown happened. This is why the vid happened, whether that's conspiracy or not. It's more bigger picture. We had to look at ourselves, right? Because when everybody locked down, look at how many relationships fell apart, right? Because you didn't really know your spouse like that. You guys worked, you had your separate ways, you saw each other for a couple hours, and then that was it. But then you really got to look at people and really dig deep, and you realize that like surface level shit just is not as good as depth. You know what I mean? So that's what they're doing. They're trying to call us back home to ourselves so that we have a more solid chance of us elevating as people separately and as people as a whole. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This feels more like a collective message and more of like a, hey, if you're stressed out, I got news for you, kid. It's going to be okay. Just put energy to yourself. You know what I mean? That's the vibe of this. So this was conspiracy-ish, but I'm going to leave it at that. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Please leave it a like if you did. It really supports my channel. It helps other people that can find this message as well. Subscribe if you haven't already. I love you guys so much. Thank you for joining my channel. I appreciate you guys so much, and I wish you guys so much good luck and good blessings, good karma. Anyways, comment down below what you guys want to see in future videos. Subscribe, hit that notification bell to see future videos. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram. I'm on TikTok sometimes. Links are all down below. If you'd like to book a personal reading, links are all down below. And I will catch you guys in my next video. Love you, besties. Stay free.
The Comic